Welcome to Tales from the Crypt, the episode that's coming literally from a real crypt at the Roman Forum. We're about a block from the Colosseum, right across the street, and we walked in and we couldn't find this hotel. Our driver couldn't find it, which it's hidden. There's no signs.
You have to go upstairs and it's in a hidden
We walked into
Wait.
the lobby, or really the check-in area, and it was just like a regular, hotel that you'd find here. And then we see this door, and I thought it was just like a hallway to a wine cellar. This entire crypt, it's incredible.
The original monument was built between 50 BC.
That's crazy.
That's old.
So I mean,
we're living in the cave, or we're hearing someone.
As you see the walkthrough that I did in this, it is very impressive and extremely cool, right? I mean, that kind of makes this entire experience in this hotel. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely. It's not just a regular hotel. They have history here. This was somebody's home.
You don't see this anyplace else. I mean, when we talk about uniqueness and building out your property and selecting these types of things, these are the things that we're looking for. We didn't book this hotel, our travel agent booked it, which she did a pretty shitty job yesterday and this morning, and she kind of recouped her value for us with the hotel today.
And the upgrade.
Yeah, and we got upgraded as, I'll show you a video of our room that we're in, and so right behind us is actually our daughter's room, and then we have a private garden.
That's just only for our two rooms.
Which is kind of cool. Then we can walk over to the whatever where we were having a drink in the bar, and then go out on the patio, and you can actually see the Colosseum and see
from the rooftop overlook. Yes,
which is pretty cool. So the reason that we wanted to bring this to you is because the Tales of the Crypt is we're in the crypt. It's a legitimate crypt, but this is where you guys go wrong. If you have a property that's struggling right now, you don't have something that's unique like this. What's the number one reason we bought the property in Montana, the cabin that everybody's seen?
The view.
The view and the access to the river.
The location, we were on the river, the view, the mountains.
All the way into the Canadian Rockies and
Canadian
Canada.
Rockies, and the bald eagles flying right by our window.
Clonteska, the Banner Elk property we closed on right before the conference. Why did we buy that one?
Because it was in walking distance to downtown Banner Elk.
And there were only 3 other properties that were on Airbnb in Verbo, and they all sucked. They were shitholes.
Yeah.
So the other reason was because that property was listed as a 4-bedroom and it was actually 5, right? So we're looking for those holes in the market. Our number one property is Dragonfly. Why did we pick that lot and build a new house there?
Because it was second tier, but the 4 lots across from us on the beach are completely empty, and they're in a living trust for children, so they cannot be built on for years. So we have beachfront views, even though we're second tier.
Until the owner of that property sold them, and now they've started surveying and construction. So we've had an amazing 2-year run of a beach property that we didn't pay for beachfront, but I can mark it as almost beachfront because those lots were open. We've got probably at least through this summer, but by next summer there will be structures there, unfortunately, and that will devalue the property. The total uniqueness goes away, but because of the layout of the house, how new we keep it, the design that you've put into place, anybody else can replicate that, but they can't replicate that location. If we look at the other Banner Elk, the big Banner Elk Lodge property, it's because it's got long-range views past Grandfather Mountain.
Private long-range
views. It's at the very top of a mountain.
So we're like at the end of a cul-de-sac. Yeah, so it's just wide open.
You can't see another dwelling. You can't see another house. You've got long-range views. You've got an 1.5 acres of backyard grass that's perfectly manicured. You've got a separate guest house. You've got a 3-car garage that had a bathroom in it already that we turned into a game room. There's 4 separate living areas in here. All these things that did not exist in that market when we went into it. Those are the things that we're looking at that don't put us into a crypt. I mean, that's why we wanted to do this. One, this is super fucking cool.
Yes.
But 2, we want you to understand as you're looking to invest into properties today, you have to find that unique value proposition. I have the new Aspen Ridge property that we're under contract. It's the most expensive single family home that we've ever done. It's kind of scary. A little bit, just like it would be for anybody else. It's $3 million. One of the critical components is the uniqueness of this property, and then secondly, the offer that we made, we got $150,000 seller credit coming back. So that will give her a $150,000 budget literally to furnish the primary residence and the guest house. And I think one thing that becomes really consistent here is you look at our biggest property is Banner Elk, and it has a separate guest house and a separate garage. This has the 4-bedroom, which really is a 4-bedroom and a loft in the primary residence that leads right down to the pond. So there's There's no short-term rental anywhere on Airbnb in Verbo that has its own pond, that has its own swim dock with a fire pit on it into its own lake, small lake or pond, that has it stocked with trout, that has its own stream coming down into it. It doesn't exist.
And then you cross a bridge over that to get to the guest house from the main house.
And the guest house is a full guest house. It's about 1,300 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, en suites, kitchen, huge family room, wood burning fireplace, and a massive 2-car garage that already has a bathroom in it with like 2 kind of workshop or potential office areas that we're going to turn into 2 bathrooms. And then you will do what you did at the big lake house.
Built-in bunks, suites. Built-in private suites.
Right?
Yes.
I call them cubbies, but suite sounds a lot better.
They're private suites.
So those will be like queen size beds,
Yes.
their own suites. There'll be 2 bathrooms in there. We'll probably be able to fit 6 of them in there. So that will sleep 12 people. That means we'll be able to get close to 24 to 28 people occupancy here. And then the next big thing, because this is on 7 acres, we're going to build our own learning center, the Bill and Bria Faeth Learning Center, or whatever we're going to end up calling it, on this property, to where we'll be able to host you guys for boot camps and get retreats and all the things that we do. We can do it in this cool environment and deliver an even better education, because nobody in this industry owns their event center. We can gear this specifically for you people that want to come in, like we're getting ready to do the couples retreat, and we're going to Puerto Rico, San Juan, and to do it down there. The experience is going to be amazing there. We do have a couple of seats left. We'll put the link down below if you want to join us in August on the couples retreat and build out your life plan. If you don't find these unique features, and no disrespect to Bria or any other designer or any owner, anybody can hire her to come and design your property, but you can't replicate what God made. If you don't find something unique that somebody else can't replicate, you're not creating insulation around your investment, or as my good friend Kenny Bedwell says, you're not going to have a moat around your investment. You've got to find that, and that is never something that you're going to do inside of your 4 walls. But this is something that is incredible that you need to be thinking about, is what creates that insulation for you when you're making your next investment, so you stay out of staying in the crypt. If you're not making money right now, it is such a different game today from an investing standpoint. Once post-investment, everything's still the same. We do the same things that we did in 2018, 19. We didn't have to do anything in 20 and 21. It was literally just throw the property up on Airbnb, nice design, all that type of stuff like everybody else. But now 23, 24, moving into 25, it's basically the same work, the off-platform marketing, the listing optimization, the revenue management. But what's different is how we're underwriting properties. And this is going to be a really big part of the investing strategy that ties into the life plan in that couples retreat in Puerto Rico. If you'll walk out of there with a life plan for your goals that puts you 100% unified with you and your spouse, but most importantly, your investing strategy that ties into that so you can hit your goals. The last thing that I'll share with you is we are in the planning stages right now for the second half of the world tour. Obviously, we're in Rome right now. We're heading to Florence, Milan, and then Zurich for the Taylor Swift concert before we head home. I'll be doing a meetup mini boot camp in Florence in a few days. But once we get back from that, I've got Chris working on New York, the Smoky Mountains, and Orlando to round out in September for the last 3 one-day boot camps that we'll be doing. Any value that I provided for you, just be sure that you hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss any of the future videos. I've got one coming up for you right here. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode.